Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann on this Wednesday, September 7th. We've got 6 games on the slate for today in daily fantasy. We'll get into all of that, all your projections and our picks there. We'll also get into our prop bets and our home run calls. We crushed it yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
So one lucky commenter from yesterday's video will get $60. We'll announce that later in the show. You may notice, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, that we are wearing Let's Effing Go San Diego shirts. Well, things were starting to look bleak for the San Diego Padres. I mean, they hadn't scored a run at Petco Park in a streak that lasted 26 innings. And San Diego's wild card lead was dwindling. I'm setting the story. I'm setting up the story. Petco Park, they showed the highlights of the game at Coors yesterday, where the Rockies beat the Brewers in extra innings.
Thank you, Rockies.
Then the Padres mounted a big rally, erasing a 5-run deficit, capping it off with yet another Jorge Alfaro walk-off.
Gotta love it. LFG San Diego.
So
let's go, Jorge.
Nice to see for the Padres.
It is. Hopefully it gives them
nice
some energy.
Loss for the Brewers.
Yep.
Big
Gotta
win
love
for the
it.
Padres.
Gotta love it. And we're also tied with the Phillies for the wild card spot. So hopefully we can keep it going and take that spot. Yeah.
So you talked about the standings a bit. And things are getting wild.
They sure are.
It's September baseball, folks.
It's fun.
And that means in the NL East, things are tied at the top. We've got Atlanta in the first place spot with the Mets. They're tied for the first time atop the NL East. Mets led by 10.5 games at the beginning of June.
It's crazy.
Now they're tied.
Yeah.
Spencer Strider was absolutely right when he said,
we'll
see what happens in September.
He
sure
was.
Enough, they're now tied.
The Tampa Bay Rays may need somebody to say that as well.
We're not going to talk about that. We're talking about the NL East, not the AL East right now.
But
Tyler,
Mets fans cannot be happy right now.
The Yankees had the fortunate, day yesterday where they didn't lose.
They did not.
They didn't lose. It was a rain out, but
I was just figuring we were talking about New York, so we could just throw in the other team too.
Right now, we're focusing on the Mets and their collapse.
Okay.
Max Scherzer to the IL.
It is hilarious to me, and Scherzer
left oblique irritation. Earliest return date is September 19th. That's not good for the Mets.
No, especially because I think this is what he was dealing with earlier in the season too.
I can't be certain about the specific injury of Max Scherzer. However,
I may be wrong in that, but I think it was a similar type injury. So
I don't know that there's any trumpet walkout music that can save them from this. I mean, Edwin Diaz has an excellent walkout, but is it going to be enough to save the Mets?
I mean, if they can't get a small lead in the 9th, they won't be hearing the trumpet.
Speaking of walkout songs, leads us to our next story here. Listen to this. Craig Kimbrel has not allowed a hit in 6 appearances since he began using Let It Go as his walkout song. You may remember that song from the movie Frozen. Do you remember that song?
I sure do. We recently got Disney Plus at home, and I've been hearing it quite often lately.
Which, I'm a big, as you know, on the On Deck podcast, I'm a big fan of walk-up music, and I judge players according to what their walk-up music is. I really liked when Oscar Gonzalez had the SpongeBob SquarePants, so this is right up there with that. I kind of like it for him. So another thing that happened yesterday, Christian Yelich hit the longest home run of the year, 499-foot blast at Coors Field off Chad Kuhl. That is the 3rd longest tracked home run since 2015. We said it yesterday on the podcast. It's 90 degrees at Coors Field.
We did.
Balls are going to fly out of there. Yeah. Sure enough, Yelich hit the longest one of the year, though. That's pretty crazy. It's
Renfro got a
Judge that hit it.
Yeah, Renfro got a bomb for good old Ryan too. So
excellent.
We hit one of our home run calls.
So Spencer Strider, he's pitching today after setting the franchise record with 16 strikeouts in his last start. He's on the earlier slate for today, so that's one of the earlier games, not on the main slate. So getting to our main slate and the weather for today, we've got one weather note for you. Toronto at Baltimore. Really ugly afternoon there in Baltimore, but should be good to go by first pitch. That's kind of all the weather notes for today. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and comment below. As we mentioned, one lucky commenter from yesterday will win $60 because both Tyler and I hit our props. So make sure to comment below. You're automatically entered in to win that $60 if you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. So let's get to our daily fantasy for today. We'll start off with our chalk report and our high-owned pitchers for today. The first one we're going to talk about is we talked about the Padres, LFG Padres. Yep. Padres righty Yu Darvish is on the mound going up against the D-backs today. And your daily fantasy field is all about it. 42% ownership on DraftKings. Now, Darvish 3.26 ERA and 2.11 average. He is coming off his best performance of the season after holding the Dodgers to just 2 hits and 7 scoreless innings, racking up 9 strikeouts in that performance. And today, going up against the D-backs, who are not the Dodgers.
No, they are very far from the Dodgers. And Darvish has been good outside of that last showing that he had. And I would expect that continue. He should be able to slow this Arizona team down. All his numbers look great, except for 39% fly balls. I should mention that it is very warm in San Diego still today, so there could be a little more pop to that ball with the fly balls. And the only other thing that isn't, that great is we only have him at a 21% combined K rate today. Arizona has been really good about limiting strikeouts to right-handed pitchers, so that is the one downside with him. Outside of that, he looks great. He's going against a Met offense. However, Arizona has been hitting the ball decently lately. All
right. Now let's look at Astros righty Christian Javier going up against the Rangers today, 40% owned on DraftKings. And he's got a 3.07 ERA, 182 opponent average. Those are some nice numbers there. He has not allowed more than 2 runs in 5 of his last 6 starts. The only one he did was last game versus the Rangers. He gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits and 5 innings pitched. He also hasn't given up more than 4 hits in 5 of the last 6. He's been lights out. I feel like every day I'm like, oh, man, another good Astros pitcher for the Astros. Yeah. Great.
And Javier's K stuff is great. 33% K rate over his last 20 starts. His combined K rate is 26% today. So you got to love that upside. The one thing, though, that we do have to bring up is the last 4 times he's faced in Texas, only one of the 4 gave us a score that we'd be looking at for where his price point is salary-wise. So do take that into consideration. But Javier has a lot going for him. He has the most upside on the slate, but he's also allowing a lot of fly balls and some barreled balls. So just be warned if you're going to go with him, but you got to love that upside.
And next, we're taking a look at Jordan Montgomery. He's going up against the Nationals today, 38% owned on DraftKings. Now, talking about Jordan Montgomery, okay? In 6 starts with the Cardinals, he carries a 1.47 ERA with 32 strikeouts and just 6 walks in 32 and a third innings. He recorded a 1-hit complete game back in August. He has 5 wins over that span. Want to know how many wins the Yankees have? 11. The entire team has 11 wins, and he's got 5 for the Cardinals now. Great. Great move, Cashman. Great move.
Do you need to rant now? Do you need to let it out?
You know what? I've said enough. I've said the stats.
You said enough? Okay.
Cashman, if you're listening, what are you doing, bud? Jordan Montgomery's going up against the Nationals today. What does that mean for daily fantasy?
I do like Gumby today. No problem going back with him. Like we've said, he has been fantastic since joining the Cardinals. 24.6% combined K rate, so decent upside here. He has a 2.2 FIP over his last 5 starts. He has just been absolutely lights out, and the Washington offense isn't great. Versus lefties, 300 WOBA, 126 ISO. So I really like going back to Gumby here.
So sad. So sad to see him. I mean, I'm never sad for someone's success.
Yeah.
Except in this instance
Oh,
where I wish it was just for the
You're
Yankees.
not sad that he's doing well. You're just sad that he's not on your team.
It's also frustrating knowing that this is what he was capable of, and the Yankees somehow, as a coaching staff, were not able to kind of harness that talent in a way that...
Yeah. I mean, like we've talked about, like his K rate has gone up somewhat significantly since he's left. So. And
some of the guys they have brought in haven't succeeded, so it kind of
Montas finally did have a good start, though. He could be coming around.
I'm not sold. So let's take a look now at the players we are sold on for our low own, or maybe not entirely.
We're not really sold today. Today is a little different than normal.
Pessimistic about the low own pitchers for today. Cincinnati lefty Mike Minor being one of them, going up against the Cubs today. 5.98 ERA. Doesn't exactly scream take me in daily fantasy. No. However, he has been better over the last 2 games, only giving up 2 runs in each of those. What do you think about him for today for daily fantasy?
So I'm going to start off by I don't really like the low-owned options today. The only other guy that I was considering was Alek Manoah, and I'm not going there. We might talk about him in a little bit. So let's go to Mike Minor here. There's great leverage with this option. Cubs are going to be one of the highest owned stacks. His StatCast data is really good, and he has shown throughout his career he can have really good games. They're just not very consistent. They don't happen that often, but he is really cheap. Cubs aren't a very good offense versus lefties. 23% K rate, 299 WOBA, and a 126 ISO, so they don't hit the ball hard. The weather is decent in Chicago, but we're not going to see a huge bump to hitters from it. So I think you can go to Minor. It's a risky play. It's a leverage option.
The ultimate leverage play.
Yeah. But with that being said, I just don't really like the low-owned pitchers today, and I think he's one you can go to. And it's a DFS play. Yeah. Wouldn't be betting on him.
All right, let's get to our team stacks now. We'll tell you where the field is headed for our high-owned team stacks of the day. First team we're looking at is the Astros. They're going up against Rangers lefty Cole Ragans, who's back off the IL. He was on there with a calf injury. Now he's back. 4.42 ERA and a 250 opponent average. That's just in 4 MLB games, though, from 2022, so we don't have a very large sample size here. He hasn't gone past 5 innings, though, so this is a pitcher who's not going that deep into games. And when you're looking at those Astros bats, they look quite attractive today.
Yeah, and not to mention the bullpen is poor that he'd be facing if Ragans gets out. But Ragans giving up a 6.7 FIP, 44% fly balls, tons of barrel balls, and if Houston gets him out early, the Texas bullpen is bad. So you got to really like Houston today. They should do just fine, and that offense is really good.
And how about the Cubs? Field is liking them going up against Mike Minor, as we talked about in our low-owned pitcher for today. I know you can kind of go either. You can either, just fade everybody and take Minor and roll the dice on that one, or you can just go ahead and take the Cubs, because those bats also looking a little bit attractive, especially when you look at Minor's 5.98 ERA.
Yeah, Minor hasn't been good. He did have a really good start 2 starts ago. So the ownership absolutely makes sense. It makes sense why people are targeting this game and this offense. But the Cubs just aren't that good for lefties. So I would be wary about following the ownership just because the Cubs aren't that good of an offense. I totally understand if you want to go there and you're playing them. Minor has been bad.
One of Tyler's commandments of daily fantasy is if a team is high owned and they're not a good offense, he is not about it.
Exactly. It's just that if you are a bad offense, like an Hall of Fame level hitter is like 300 is great. If you're bad, you're like 250 or under. And if ownership's there, there's probably a higher likelihood they fail than succeed.
So let's talk about our low-owned plays for today with our team stacks. We're going to look at the Cardinals, a very good offense, going up against Nationals righty Corey Abbott. He's got a 4.39 ERA. This is very much looking like it's going to be bullpen game. Yes. The Nationals bullpen is terrible. Abbott hasn't gone past 2 innings in the last 3 times out, so that's kind of what we're looking at there. Not a fan of the Nationals bullpen myself.
And that's exactly it. It's a bullpen game. Abbott isn't great as it is. The bullpen is even worse. And we all know how good the St. Louis offense is. Mm-hmm. Why not jump on that? And
yeah. I was actually surprised the ownership wasn't a bit high owned. Do you see that changing throughout the day as people listen to our podcast and start making moves?
I think that they will. They're not going to be super low owned, but they will be lower than the Cubs and Houston. With 6 games, it's not like
a lot to choose from.
Exactly. And St. Louis is going to be something that people go. It's not like you're getting a super low owned stack, whereas the next one might be.
How about the Orioles going up against Blue Jays? Alek Manoah, he's got solid numbers, 2.48 ERA, 2.11 opponent average. However, the Orioles have done well against him in the last 2 games. 7 runs in 10 2/3, including 2 home runs against him. So they have gotten to him. I think this is a nice leverage play. Manoah is going to be decently owned. We didn't talk about him in the high owned stack, but he would be the 4th highest owned pitcher here. And over the last 2 games in Baltimore, he has a 9 ERA. He hasn't gone deep into games, and several Baltimore players have really good BVP numbers versus him. So I like Baltimore's chances here to kind of get on Manoah a little bit. Also, they're all pretty fired up. They had a bench clearing incident yesterday. You love to see a little fire in the AL East. Mm-hmm. I wish the Yankees offense would show a little more fire. But what are you going to do?
How does it make you feel that these 2 teams are getting fired up?
Yeah.
They're in it. They think they're in it.
And they are. I'll be honest. I think it's a matter of time before they lose that. I know it seems sizable.
Do you
5
want
games.
to win this game?
Do I want to win this game? Mm-hmm. I don't know how much. Probably the Orioles.
Yeah, they're slightly.
Probably the Orioles.
Slightly more behind.
Yeah.
But
we'll go with the O's on this one.
All right.
They could do it. They're just a crazy story, just in general.
You gotta love that story.
Right. Even as a Yankees fan, I'm just gotta respect.
I know we've stated it like several times, but we got to go back to it now. The Orioles team salary is less than Max Scherzer. It's insane.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. As you know, now we are in that time of year. I mentioned at the top of the show how the Padres were seeing the game highlights at Petco Park, and you're at that time of year when you're watching the scoreboard and seeing. Yeah, it's really fun. So, you know what else is fun? All of our stats and information that we have on LineStar. So check out linestarapp.com right now. Lock in your subscription. Are we now at hours before the price goes up to $29.99? You can lock it in if you do it right now. $19.99 is what you can lock it in as. Make sure you get that ahead of football season. We also just unveiled our newest tool, which is our Props Edge tool, which is awesome. It's how we pick our props. Great. And so if you're using PrizePicks, UnderDog, it will give you the best plays in terms of the edge you have against the sports book for those particular bets, and then you can go place them on UnderDog or PrizePicks. We have the links to those below as well. You definitely want to check out LineStar right now. We've got a ton of new features, good stuff. You need to have it before football season, especially if you're playing in these daily fantasy contests and placing those prop bets. So right now we're going to go to the LineStar app to take a look at our sleeper picks of the day. With our sleeper pick of the day on DraftKings, we are going with Lane Thomas of the Washington Nationals. He's going up against Jordan Montgomery, which is a little risky. $2,500, though, is a nice price tag on DraftKings. Taking a look at his player card here. And one of the things I like about this particular play is he's got a 304 average over the last 20 games, and he does have the ability to put up some big numbers in fantasy. If you can see here on this little graph, he's put up 17, 13, 17, 23, 24, 17 the other day, 14. So you can see he is capable of putting up those big numbers. And you never know, maybe the time has to come for Jordan Montgomery to give up a few hits. Man, he's been good, though. However, we're looking for a little value, and that's where you can find it for today. $2,500 on DraftKings.
Mike Ford came through for us yesterday.
There you go. The numbers don't lie, folks. Now it's time for our FanDuel sleeper pick of the day. And what do you know? It's Lane Thomas once again for FanDuel as well. He's $2,400 there. And we talked about his really good average over the last 20 games, over 300. Not a bad play there. Anytime there's a player with a 300 average that's $2,400, you got to like
just too
the
cheap.
play.
Yep.
And it's a little risky there going up against Gumby, but we like it. So those are your sleeper picks of the day. Make sure to check out all of this information and more. Oh, look what we got over here. If you can see it, it's the Props Edge tool. I'm just going to give you, should I give a little peek?
Yeah, a little peek.
Here we go. So this is the new Props Edge tool. Definitely wanted to show you guys this because it's pretty awesome. Just unveiled, and you can take a look at the normal props, and then we've got PrizePicks and UnderDog, so you can find the best edge on this tool. You can use the best line, or what we have. We've basically found the props with the largest LineStar projection difference from the over-under line, so it'll give you right there what we have projected as the best bet for those particular apps. So really great tool there to help you out with that. Make sure to check it out. LineStarApp.com. Make sure to lock in your subscription right now, literally right now as you watch this, because the price will go up in a matter of hours as football season starts to $29.99. We want you to save $10 a month. It's right now at $19.99. So lock it in now. LineStarApp.com. Link is below. Now it is time for our home run calls of the day. Yesterday, Ryan got his home run call correct. Good for him. Got a nice Coors Field bomb.
Yep, and the
Off
person
Chad
has
Kuhl.
already collected. They already got their 2 months free.
Yeah, remember our home run call contest on Twitter. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter where we have a contest, and all you have to do is retweet, comment for your chance to win some straight cash if one of us hits our home run call.
Or a free LineStar subscription.
Even better, especially with the new props tools.
It is for $25 or 2 months subscription. Tomorrow, the home run call goes to $25 or 1 month subscription with our with our price raise for LineStar, which is a good time to remind you guys all, get in now if you haven't.
Yeah, literally right now.
12. It's 12 hours away
There
from
you
the
go.
price going up.
All right, so back to our regularly scheduled program. Home run calls of the day. Tyler, who do you have hitting a bomb today?
We're going with the Tyler bump. Usually we talk about the Tyler bump and we're going with pitchers, but today we're going with Tyler O'Neill. O'Neill has hit 7 home runs in the last month. The man has been feeling it. He also is 2 for 2 with 2 home runs against Abbott. And if he doesn't get to Abbott, there's the poor Washington bullpen behind him. He's going to do it today. He's going to hit a home run. Tyler bump is counting on it.
I love Tyler O'Neill. Like, he's really good, especially in that awesome lineup. He's been doing,
He's been on fire lately.
Sure has. You know who else has been on fire lately? Seiya Suzuki, who is my home run call for today. Suzuki will be facing Cincinnati Reds lefty Mike Minor as the second highest home run per 9 rate among all pitchers, minimum 80 innings pitched. Then you look at that bullpen, which I'm constantly picking on. They have the second highest home run per 9 rate in all of baseball. Also, Suzuki is a righty bat that does better against lefties. He has a higher slugging percentage there. And then he's been heating up, as I mentioned, over the past 2 weeks. He's batting .347. Suzuki with a bomb today.
You know, I love this one because early in the season, you were all over Suzuki, and it's gone full circle.
Yes.
You're back.
We're back to
We're
Suzuki.
back.
He fell off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he got hurt,
True.
struggled
Fair
a little
enough,
bit,
fair
and, you know, there's got to be some adjustment here to the MLB game, so seems to have made it.
You know, the Cubs are super banged up right now.
Yeah.
So Seiya Suzuki, though, seems to be, he hit one this week, so might be back to his form.
I like it.
All right. Now it's time for our prop bets of the day. Yesterday, Tyler and I both hit our props on UnderDog, which means One lucky commenter from yesterday's video wins $60. And today's winner is Timothy Feature, who commented on yesterday's video. So Timothy, congrats, you've got $60. Make sure to reach out to Tyler in the comments or send him a message on Twitter to claim your prize.
You can just DM the LineStar account there, and I'll get it there.
So now it's time for today's MLB props. And if you want to play in today's contest and win like Timothy Feature, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment below. It's that easy, and you can walk away with $60 if both Tyler and I hit our props. Today, our picks are available on UnderDog. If you don't have UnderDog already, the link is below to that. Make sure you sign up. New users who deposit at least $10 will get up to a $100 deposit match. Great deal there. Use the promo code LineStar, and you'll get 2 free months of LineStar. Also an added bonus there, especially with our new props features. So, speaking of props, let's get to our prop bets of the day available on UnderDog Fantasy. Tyler, where are you headed for your prop today?
You know, I talked about how I like the Baltimore Orioles is a sneaky stack, and I also like them because we're going Alek Manoah under 18.5 outs. It's minus 150 on the sports book, so there's a really good value here on UnderDog. And in 63% of the starts, he has gone under 18.5. LineStar has him projected at 14.8 outs, so there's pretty solid edge here, about a full inning edge. And in the last 6 outings versus Baltimore, he has gone under in 5 of them. And in the 2 road games in Baltimore, he has also gone under in both of them. So I like Manoah for the under today.
I also have an under with our pitcher prop. I don't often go to our pitcher props, and I don't often go with the under. I'm going Eric Lauer under 4.5 strikeouts. He's got under this mark in 6 of the last 9. He is averaging 5.4 strikeouts per game. However, he's playing at Coors Field, and historically, throughout his career, he has done not well at Coors Field. In fact, in 16 innings pitched, 5 games, he has a 14.63 ERA and just 13 strikeouts. That's less than 3 a game, and the Rockies this season have the 4th lowest strikeout rate versus lefties. So lock that in on UnderDog.
I like it.
So those are our props for today.
It's crazy.
Got your home run call. Got our picks for fantasy, so go crush it out there.
Is this your second under all year?
I think it's my second. I just like to do it more fun.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But hey, value's there.
I don't always love rooting against people.
But you're just rooting for the Rockies. You're rooting for the Padres' chances.
You know, it's still fun. It's Coors Field, and I feel much more confident in this particular under. So
cool. I like it.
That's going to do it for today's show. I was going to get to another segment that doesn't exist there.
Hey,
you know,
that's good. We're going to have another segment
for
NFL in a little bit.
More shows the past few days. If you haven't already, speaking of which, go check out our props picks for this week in NFL action. We have it for both PrizePicks and UnderDog. Go lock in some of your props for that. We've got some really good ones that we use Props Edge to find, and our own picks. If that's another contest, you can comment there as well and be signed up for that free $60.
And that is both shows are quick, right around 10 minutes. Get to the point, top 5 props, and we're out.
That's basically it. So lock that in. We'll also have a preview of Thursday night's game, and we will have, of course, preview of your big boy slate for the first week in NFL action. And that's all coming this week. So make sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with that. You also might want to turn the notifications on, just saying, so you know when we're coming out with new stuff. A lot of this stuff is time sensitive because they do take off the props. So you want to make sure to catch that early so you can lock in all those great value props.
Yeah, especially a lot of the props we're picking because you know, the line moves and it's gone.
All right. So that's it for today. Go crush it out there in daily fantasy. Good luck in all your prop bets. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.